Brothers and sisters, we come today to the final of the three parables then of Matthew's 21st chapter. And remember, there are three parables that have been addressed to the chief priests and the elders. And this one finally gets to the point of just clearly telling them, you know, you were invited to this banquet. But because you haven't accepted me, basically now your life is a life of doom. Out you go. And so to whom do we invite? We go out into the streets. And we get those that the world considers no one. Tax collectors, prostitutes, sinners. And these are the people now that are coming to the kingdom and accept it. But you know something? The king comes out today, and he goes out and he checks out his guests. And he comes across someone who is not dressed in the appropriate wedding garment. Now, whenever Jesus speaks here, remember, it's spiritual talk. So what is Jesus talking about? The word in reference today to the wedding garment is this: living a life of good deeds. Okay? And what that means is this: we may be invited, we may come to this church, we may believe, but the wedding garment that we are to put on is that of good deeds. Lip service isn't enough. We too have to live our faith. Okay? So when we go from the church today, that has to be our challenge. We believe. That's why we're here. Remember, when you go forth, to do the work of Jesus Christ. Otherwise, we hear what happens in the gospel of today, don't we? When the king comes, when God comes, all of a sudden what happens? Out you go. Okay? So remember the importance of good deeds. All right? Live your faith. People, I want to really pay a compliment for you. I want to talk this weekend about stewardship, but I just want to do this in a sense of really being complimentary. What do I mean? In the following ways. When we look back, St. John Vianney, at adult envelopes, our giving was up from the prior year. Now remember, our fiscal year ends June 30th. We go July 1 to June 30th. So in that period then, from 2012 to 2013, the actual for adults was $538,304. For 2013-14, the actuals went up to $569,788. Okay? That's a compliment. We budgeted a shortfall for last fiscal year, but we came out in the black, $247,194. Okay? Holy Family, same good story. Okay? Church support, 2012-13 was $60,373. Well, fiscal year 2013-14, it rose to $66,072. Not bad for a parish of 60 families. Okay? Holy Family finished in the black for the fiscal year, then $38,750. Remember, we're now taking the pledges for the capital campaign. Just to let you know, St. John Vianney, with those funds that have been coming in, we've been able to redo now the surface out here in the main parking lot. This year we tackled the Ward Street sidewalk. Next year, just to let you know, we've already planned ahead. We're going to redo then the parking lot surface down in the garages that lead down into Ward Street. Okay, that's all concrete and it's all busted up, so it needs to be redone. Remember, that goes on top of what you give for church support. Okay? So keep that in mind. Over the next 5 years, St. John Vianney then will have coming in, just from that, $173,664. And as for Holy Family, over the next 5 years, $80,500. And the money is a share of that money for Holy Family we're going to use for the church basement projects. Here's the last one that I just want to applaud you on. The Annual Diocesan Appeal, everyone, changed titles, and we got to hear this over. We used to call it Annual Diocesan Appeal. Now it's the Catholic Ministries Appeal. I'm just going to read to you this page of how parishes have done in our deanery. okay, in the Mankato Deanery percentage-wise, okay? Here we go. Blue Earth and Winnebago just got started, so I won't even go there. Janesville is at 50%, Waldorf 91%, Medelia 25% of gold, St. James 58, Truman 43, Madison Lake 70, St. Clair 63, Mankato St. John the Baptist 46%, Mankato St. Joseph the Worker 32%, Lake Crystal Holy Family 33%, Saints Peter and Paul Mankato 69%, Mapleton St. Teresa Church 84%. How are we doing? Fairmont, we're at goal. 100%. East Chain, 104% of gold. Okay? So I compliment you on that. Okay? Important. Remember, this is the one, everyone, that happens yearly. Last year was tied to that capital campaign, so we did it once again this year. We don't make our goal. This has to be made up. Okay? So I compliment you on all of these things. Okay? My challenge to you, just like me, so I speak these words to myself, giving more to charity. When you read actually the Acts of the Apostles, we complain about having to give 10%. Read the Acts of the Apostles, and people gave away 100%. Everything. Read that book, and you're going to be amazed how many times you hear that, where people come up to the apostles, sell everything, put it at the feet, and say, use it for the poor. Okay? Continue to strive for 10%. And I keep saying, church is important, but it's also good to give to other charities. Okay? But keep working on that. For those of you who have given the same amount for years, I challenge you to increase that giving. Again, expenses go up. The power of the dollar isn't the same. We know that. Okay? All you have to do is sit down and look at your bills, from year to year to year, and we can see that. Okay? Farmers consider giving grain as a charitable donation. The process is simple. Wherever you go, wherever you take your grain state that you like to give, let's say 500 bushels of soybeans to a Holy Family Church or St. John Vianney, the elevator calls the parish, we sell the grain, and through the parish, the grain is received as a charitable donation. Okay? For St. John Vianney, consider using ACH, electronic giving. Okay? Said a monthly amount is determined by the giver and is transferred from one's account to the parish. It's the system that I use. Okay? So I don't have to worry about writing out a check. I remind you of this every single year. How many of you, if you actually go to another parish, actually give the amount that you would have given to the parish the week that you were gone? I don't know. Some of you might. Most probably don't. Okay? But Beth takes care of that. Okay? A bequest to the parish, we can't budget it, but again, it's important for people to remember us in wills and also in bequests. Okay? All right? Those are fundamentally important for a parish. Okay? One last thing. Okay? We've been meeting as the Social Justice Committee, and one of the things that we're talking about doing, I just want to share, is we're planning to offer, for those who don't know where their next meal is coming, a free hot meal once a month open to the public. Okay? We're targeting the fourth Sunday of each month, beginning January of 2015, as our first evening meal that we would offer. Okay? We've talked to people, the last Sunday of the month is the best because that's usually when most of the money is run out. Okay? But before we can do this, we need volunteers, in the areas of volunteering we need help are. Here they are. People to pick up food items, people for meal planning and to cook, people to serve, people to set up, people to clean up, people for hospitality, and people for marketing and promotion. Again, for this to happen, we need volunteers. If we don't get them, we can't do it. Okay? So this is a great opportunity. Sometimes families, you wonder, what can we do as a family? Youth, what can we do? This is a great opportunity. Okay? The sign-up sheets, you're interested, are going to be in the gathering space. Okay, if you're interested. By the way, this is a fact. Do you know Martin County is the second poorest county in Minnesota? Second poorest. It's a fact. Most of you probably don't know that, but we are. Okay? All right? That tells us something. People need help, and let's offer it in Jesus Christ. Okay? So let's remember that. Let's pray about that, everyone. Remember now the power of believing, and believing through the power of good works.